Hey people, Wakia here. This is going to be a mind-blowing video because I've had just about enough. I have to say what's really on my mind. And what's really on my mind, when I really start thinking, it gets dangerous. Let's start off with we're watching a chess game, okay? And we all know that it's world events and this person and that person and cycles and all kinds of things to do with the planet. And I'm going to name some of them because this is going to be a kick-ass video. I'm a wisdom keeper. I'm tribal. I'm indigenous. And this game is a gamble. And the chess game that we're watching, which I have likened to this to a chess game, obviously I've said that before. You know, watching a chess game is one thing, but when, let's say you're watching a chess game and you're seeing everybody cheat or making false moves, how do you watch it? How do you figure out, if you're a strategist, okay, how do you watch a chess game at which everybody is cheating? Okay? It's like one guy turns his head to cough or something, and the guy moves the pawn, or it's ridiculous. And just like I said the other day, you get your hopes up, you get caught up, you get caught up in a game here. Just like a football game, okay? Rah, rah, sis, boom, bah, all that bullshit. And we sit here sometimes, and I'm guilty of it, and I slip in and out of it. Looking at things as sides, okay? Now, we take sides sometimes. We've got Putin on one side, and Poroshenko, and Porky Pig, and Diggity Dig, and Diggity Dig Dog, and Higgity Hig Hog, and Obama, and all these, yay, yay, the French, the Paris, let me run down. Okay, first, this is too much for the average man or woman. Diggity Dig Dog. Let's go ride the hog. Whatever. People, okay, so I'm just gonna nail what's going on the planet. See, we get caught up, I'm talking political and world events and dicey events on a nuclear level, but I don't even mention natural levels. Okay? People think, oh, it's just getting critical on they're playing their games and we're watching, okay? And they're destructive games, period, end of story. Destructive games, cheating games, can't figure out what they're doing games. Because things change day to day, and what you thought happened yesterday, and you go, oh, you get all excited, and then boom, you got a big letdown the next day because a bunch of people get blown apart. It's like, hello? Are we sitting in the Colosseum at Rome and watching Christians and getting ripped apart? Not that don't get this wrong now, Christians being the whole planet. I just use that as a metaphor. We could talk about Christians later. There's a million things going on right now. And I'm going to name them just so you know, just so your memory doesn't forget. Because as an indigenous wisdom keeper, I have to sometimes speak from that earth level and that spiritual level, because that trumps everything else. Okay? The earth level and the planet level and that level are nature. Okay, what our nature is, both us and outside, trumps everything else. Now, what's going on with nature? Well, did you guys forget about the pipeline explosions in the Gulf, and the Gulf being turned to basically a dead sea? And did you know that the planet right now is threatened from the Earth going dead? Did you know that? And the planet, and the oceans, and everything. But it starts with the oceans, see, and the Hopi. Now I might quote prophecy from anywhere today. But the Hopi said, the sea shall turn black and all living things shall die. What is happening? The sea is turning black and all living things are dying. From oil, people. Okay, so that's one thing that, and now the factor with that is oil, but what's the other factor? Well, the other factor is radiation. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? And it's the three-core meltdown at Fukushima, which was never fixed, people. And I get updates every day, and I can't even look at them. I just delete them. Can't even look at them. I know. I mean, you read one or two of them as this. Oh, this can't be true. And is it true for all we know? But yes, it's true. Fukushima did have a three-core meltdown, physicists say. Michio Kaku is one of them, one of the foremost on Earth. And it's still melting down. It's China syndrome, and radiation is spewing everywhere and going into the ocean. Then you got Hanford. Where's that? In Washington, that's dumping waste, toxic waste shit, radioactive stuff into the Columbia River. So here we have the Pacific Ocean being fed far west and right here, and it meeting, and things dying, and shellfish melting, and dolphins jumping in the hundreds, and whales throwing themselves up on boats. Okay, this is all happening. This is just on a natural level. I shouldn't say just, that's the most important. And you cry for Mother Earth. You cry for Mother Earth. You cry for Mother Earth and the planet. And all that we are connected to, because you see, the oceans are the lifeblood of the planet. It's like the blood of the planet. You know? I mean, you have to have oceans, people, okay? In case you didn't know that, you have to have the stream, the flow, the osmosis with the water and the rain, and if you don't have that, party over. And that's the way it's getting right now. And then you look outside, and this isn't BS, because I'm a pilot and I know all about this shit, and I've seen the little air nozzles in the tanks and everything, okay, of the chemtrails being sprayed in the sky. And then looks like it's going to cloud up. For some reason, the chemtrails come over and they think maybe they're going to make it rain. I don't know. But then the clouds disappear. They don't like it. Leave us alone. Think about just that aspect, the natural aspect. Forget all this bullshit with Putin and Obama and these people with their thumbs up their ass and the fighting going on. What's new? Happened in Syria, 100, 200,000 people. Now we got it in Ukraine. And it's just starting, people. And you think one side's winning and the other side didn't, and you start rooting for a side, and it's really like we should be detached and just looking at it like, unless you're over there on the ground, unless you become a mercenary, okay, and put put your life on the line and fight for a cause like a freedom fighter or a French freedom fighter in World War II. Unless you do that, we almost have no business rooting for any side, or because we might be horribly disappointed, okay? Just like when people vote for politicians, they're horribly disappointed because they didn't do anything they promised. I don't know how much longer I can take this, and I agree. Nat posted something that said we need divine intervention. I agree, 100%. Divine from any source, what you call God or your inner divinity that is your connection with that higher source or whatever. We need divine intervention. We need to pray. We need to, let's say get spiritual. I'm going to get spiritual now. Spiritual. Not religious, spiritual. Yeah, I can quote scripture all day long, and I can, just like I quote Hope Your Prophecy, some Daniel, Ezekiel, all those guys, they knew. John, Revelations. Yeah, I'd say they saw something coming. Prophets in every century and every tribe have seen this. What's happening right now? I wonder how productive it is for us to dwell on it day after day after day. That's a question. When we should be, instead of day after day, we should be pray after pray. As in, get down on your knees and pray. If you never believed in God ever in your life, you better start believing in something like that right now, because we can't handle it. I don't care if you're agnostic or atheist or whatever the hell you are. You better start believing in something and join here with the spiritual thinking people, the real spiritual thinking people. I don't mean Christians or Muslims or Islamists or anybody, Jews. It's all belief systems, and it's destroying this friggin' earth. Because they're fighting each other, and they're not practicing what they preach. Obviously, hypocrisy to the max. We got Christians in Ukraine. Do we have Christians in Russia and Christians here, and they're all fighting one another? Wow, that's a good, isn't that a good indication of what Christians are all about? If they go out and fight and kill each other and slit each other's throat, they love fighting. So do I, in a way, but not that way. I like self-defense and even fighting aggressive martial arts with a philosophy, though. It has to be backed by a philosophy. Just like the fighting in the tribal, had to be backed with a spiritual philosophy. Back when Crazy Horse and even them had intertribal things. What did I leave out here? Oh, financial. Okay, the big rundown here today from Thunder. The financial thing, what do you say about that? It's collapsing. Okay, so we could take several areas. We could take it's collapsing. They're not telling the people anything about what's going on, really, in any area. Okay, so there's that old saying. Remember that old saying? I think it goes, believe nothing of what you read or hear or something like that, and half of what you see. Half of what you see, and believe Believe nothing you hear. That's good admonition today. They must have seen something coming. And half of what you see, that's about right when you think about it. Because the shit you see, half of it's produced. That's, whoever said that was brilliant. I want to find out where that quote came from. Believe nothing of what you hear and half of what you see. And it's true. You can't believe anything anymore. You can't, and it's back to the chess game, the cheating chess game. If they played it the right way, even halfway the right way, and that means chess has rules, see? Okay? Chess has rules, timing rules, and, matches, and they have rules, and there's rules in the game where you can only move certain pieces a certain way, and so you kind of watch which way that piece is going to move and where it could move, and where it could move 3 or 4 steps ahead from where you're looking, or even 6 steps ahead. Thinking the game out, pulling your partner in, your competitor in with different moves, purposely making different moves to pull your competitor in. That's how chess works, or your opponent in. I'll move this here, so he'll move that there, and then when he moves that there, I'll move this here, and then when I move that there, well, obviously he's going to move this here, and then what I'll do is, see, that's how you think. That's how normal chess players think, but this is not following any of those rules that we're watching right now. Because you see somebody make a move, and you know what the counter move to that would be, and the counter move isn't there. It's totally somewhere else, or that move that was made was retracted. Can you imagine sitting in chess and watching somebody, I'm going to retract that move, I'm going to pull back on it. No, I think I'll make it again. No, I'm going to pull back on it. Hello? So you can't figure shit out even if you're a supreme strategist, because these people are mad. Look up the word mad. Look up the word madman. Look up the word psychotic. I keep saying this is going to be my last video. Any time could be. I need to back off. The I Ching told me that. I throw the I Ching. It's the world's most ancient oracle, and it tells me things. And it's saying everything needs to back off right now. It needs to get still. That's what it told me. Thousands of years old, okay? You consult it, it's a book. Jung was into it. It said obstacles out there and need to back off from it. Everything needs to back off, and if they don't back off, we need to back off from buying into it or watching it or doing any of that stuff. At least give yourself a break. So, when I think I get dangerous, this is all bullshit. It's almost a waste of time when you could be using what precious little time we have left on this planet to do things you enjoy. And I know it's hard to enjoy things. You can't even walk outside on a sunny day and look around and see something that just goes, whoa. I mean, you can look up in the sky and see the chemtrails or the idiots on the freeway, or anything that you look at reminds you of, oh my God, what are we living in here? I know that. Great Spirit, grandfather, grandmother, Maka, grandfather, Tukashila, grandmother, spirits of the four directions, Sapa in the west, with the color black in the Wakanyan, protect us, help us, watch over us, be guardians for us. Gi, the west, the east, the rising sun, hope, grandfather, watch over us, grandmother, grandfather, Tukashila, Luta, the north, renew us, red, renewal, north, Luta, Ogagaska, south, white, spirit, transcending. Almost like the angels of the four directions or the winds of the four directions, the spirit of the four directions is strong. We acknowledge you. We honor you. Grandfather, grandmother, grandfather, grandmother, Tunkashila, Wakantanka, Yusun, Ancient of Ancients. You are known by many names, the Tao. You are the mystery. Shower this planet with love. Remove the dark energy, bring it into balance. Bring the spirit that caused the spirit, bring the spirit that moves in all things to be strong. Strong. May our ancestral spirits join us in a celebration of renewal for the planet. May spirit descend upon us, Tunkashila, the holy wind, and clear this planet of all negative energy. The preponderance that has built up, please listen to our heartfelt supplication. We have reverence for you. See, that's what we should say every day. We have love for you. We want to exhibit your love. I could go on all day with a prayer and ritual. And if people did this every day, if they sat down and meditated and did prayer and ritual and went within and really offered supplication, what do you think that does? What do you think it does? Tell me. It makes you feel good. And you know why it makes you feel good? Because we're all divine. And we all have powers way beyond what anybody could ever possibly imagine. If half of the United States, a third of the United States, like the population, 1 million people, even 500,000, all got on the same wavelength, all of a sudden, I don't think there's that many that are, of love and compassion and wanting change and having reverence for Great Spirit and the Spirit that moves in all things. I don't think there's 500,000 people on the planet. Seriously. out of 7 billion. Maybe. Show, do a poll. We need help, people. And don't believe any of this stuff. You can't buy into, nothing is, so what if they fight each other? So what if the petrodollar gets destroyed? And so what if we all know where we're going? Don't we? We all know where we're going. We live between eternities, birth and death, and on the other side is the eternity. Okay? Birth and death, that's what they call it. We live between eternities, but what's in this space that we're in right now? What's in this space? Well, we're here, we have to deal with it, don't we? Whatever it is, there's got to be a reason for it. Maybe we're chosen, the ones of us that we are chosen. Don't doubt it for a minute. The ones of us that care, the ones of us that pray. I don't know how many of you out there are kindred, really kindred with, on that spiritual wavelength. I know you care about your surroundings. I know, that's good. But are you caring on a heartfelt level? A heartfelt level. Heart. That's where compassion and love, it's always been associated with the heart. And truth, speaking from the heart. Just like my book, which just went out of print, actually. Listen to the Wind, Speak from the Heart, but I have all the rights to it, and I have books, so if you want any, I got them. Doesn't matter if I have a publisher. I can self-publish. Everybody's doing that anyway. But when I self-publish, always somebody pops up and goes, wow, maybe we ought to publish this. It's been used in colleges, and I speak about the same thing that I speak about right now, of the huge contrast, and this is going to be a long video, the huge contrast. Bear with me, stick to the end. There's a huge contrast between acting like a good person or a person of light or a Christian or whatever and doing it. And we don't see anybody doing it. We're in the dark ages. We're in, a friend of mine says it's like a blanket that's been spread over us that's blocking everything out. It's true. It's descending. We need to ascend then, don't we? If it's descending on us, we need to ascend and punch a hole right through it and see the light. And the only way we're going to do that is to not get caught up in it. Step back from it. I like that saying from the I Ching, let the world form around you. Let the world form around you. Think about that. Let the world form around you. Does that mean that you're out there trying to change the world, or that you're trying to manipulate the world, or that's what everybody else is doing and they're screwing it up? So does that mean that, no, it means you sit back in a still Buddha, meditative, Taoist, Yeshua said to meditate, frame of mind, and let the world form around you, giving no thought unto it. Today's anxieties are enough for today. Yeshua, today's anxieties are enough for today. our anxieties, not other people's, not the world's. And usually our anxieties come from the world, doesn't it? And what did Yeshua say? He said, the kingdom of heaven is within you. Within you. Some people try to twist that. Oh, well, that means in the midst of you. Well, what's in the midst? In the middle. And every great master has said that we must go within. We must go within. We have to go within. We have to go within. What does that mean to you? Well, within could mean within our own auric energy field, going right on up that channel to the connecting with the high. See, I'll tell you the secret about going within and this higher level. When you go within, you get to that higher level. See, I'm going to make this perfectly clear. When you go within to your heart, you connect. That's the only way that you can connect, because you're going into your energy field then. You're going into your auras and your chakras and your inner spiritual attachment to the cosmos. So the only way that you can get there is not by grasping around out here and listening to people and following this and that. It's by being still like a mountain. The I Ching says, be still like a mountain. Be still like a mountain. It means meditation. What is meditation? Being still like a mountain. Being quiet, being subdued. Okay? Yeshua said to do that. A prayer, a meditation, a ritual, a prayer, like I said earlier, what does that do? It puts you in a meditation frame of mind. It puts you in a positive, if you want to just get to a motivational level, it's positive affirmations. And it's an affirmation that you believe in something higher than yourself. Is there something higher than ourself? Look at the spirit that moves in all things. Or is that a part of ourself? Well, it's a part of ourself and it's higher. It seems to have an intelligence beyond that which we're grasping on earth right now. Think about the things I talk about today, because I'm really tired, or it makes me tired. It zaps your energy to constantly be tuned in to blood, gore, bloody gore, bloody gory horror, bloody gory depressing, bloody gory shit. That's French, by the way. Just kidding. Could be. Shite. Anyway. It's out of control. It's too out of control. I told you this was going to be long. Bear with me. The rundown of the planet. The rundown, the literal run down of the planet. Running it down, running it into the ground, having no reverence for it. Mining, strip mining, fracking, blowing the shit out of everything everywhere. Forgive us, Mother Earth, Maka. Forgive us. Forgive those, not us. Forgive those who are doing this to you, stabbing at your very core. through horrific means. We know we're supposed to live under our own vine and fig tree. Who said that? That's biblical. Live under your own vine and fig tree. Enjoy nature. Don't work for anybody else. Work for yourself. The reason that I'm getting down on this spiritual level right now is because I've been looking at this too long. Been focusing on it too much because there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do unless you go within. And so we'd be better off talking to each other about how we go within, how we pray, what our spiritual. It's time to come together on that level. And you don't have to have a religion. Or you can have a religion. But you better know what that religion says. And you better know the history of it. And you better know what it represents. And if it has a good name. Because don't we go by the good name of people? Don't we evaluate by whether they have a giving heart like Crazy Horse when he brought food to his people? Isn't that how we evaluate people in our own mind to see if we want to be around their energy? We have to do that on all levels. Whatever energy you're taking in from anything, you have to evaluate and say, is that toxic or is it doing me any good? Seriously here, and I am serious today, and I'm reverent. I'm being reverent. And I'm trying to get to the core of the matter that this stuff that we're watching is there's no sense to it. So when something doesn't make sense to you, what do? Well, you either look into it, okay, and there's no way of looking into this except seeing the surface stuff they want us to see. And we already know anyway. Can't you see things from a perspective of, if you see it, you don't like it, it doesn't feel good? If it quacks like a duck, we know this. None of this stuff is good. If you come from a heart space and a love and compassion and brotherhood and fellow man and all that good stuff, this doesn't even come close. Doesn't even come close. We're so far away, it's like no family love, no societal love, no understanding, no coherent thinking, talking, coherent, lucid, know what you're talking about. And I don't want to get angry about this anymore. I don't want to even get intense like I am right now, but I have to be right now because this is a kick-ass video. You should spread it around. Let people listen to what's really, I just listed all the stuff that's going on. Not all the stuff, maybe not even a third of the stuff that's going on in the planet that is just so horrific. It's like if you looked at that stuff every day, I can't look at half the email and notifications and I get them on all levels in the solar wind and, oh man, I don't even want to go there. And you think these people can stop the internet? The sun could stop it in like a day. It could burn every computer up on Earth if the right X-class solar flare hits us. And it seems like all kinds of things are happening like that, right? We got remember that? I doubt if people even remember that there's so much stuff going on now. Just let me remember when that comet or whatever it is came down and hit Russia? That meteor spun in right above Earth level and then just crashed right into Russia, left a big hole, broke all the windows. Does anybody remember that? I do. See how fragile our planet is? We're way beyond what the Hopi said as far as the earth dying and the sea dying, and they talked about the gourd of ashes and the radioactivity, and we're way beyond biblical. Every man's hand will turn against his brother. The hearts of men will be dark and evil. The Great Tribulation. Blood will run in the streets. The moon will turn red as with blood. Should I go on here? Woe to the suckling child in the last days. Woe to the mother with a suckling child in the last days in the Great Tribulation. You know what that meant? They ate their own babies in the Great Tribulation in Jerusalem. Just because it's not happening around you or in your country, does that make does that make it any less important? I could go on and on and on, and we see all this stuff around us, and my point of this video is we need to back off, people. We need to start encouraging one another, and we need to start talking spiritual things. And let's just start talking about the old ways, and let's associate with and encourage one another, because critical times hard to deal with are here. Wars and rumors of wars. There goes my other computer. It's telling me that's it. Okay, I'm gonna leave now. Watch this video the whole way through. I hope you did. Should have said that at the beginning, but you know, I'll name this something that'll get people's attention, even if it's sex. SCX. Well, let's look at that one. How do you get these people's attention? That's it. Let's play a different movie here. This one's getting old. Play it in your head. Play that movie in your head. Play the movie that you want in your head. Not the one you're seeing out here. It's horrific, people. And let's pray too. Let's pray to Great Spirit and do ritual and do offering, however you do it. Let's try to connect with that source it's time, people. If you never believed in anything before in your life, you better form a belief system that incorporates some kind of higher thing beyond us that has more control than us, or that will give us control as anointed on earth, or wisdom keepers on earth, or medicine shamanistic people on earth. They're all one. It's you know or you don't know. You're on a spiritual level or you're not on a spiritual level. There's no gray areas here, okay? You're either on a spiritual level and you believe and have hope and faith in a higher divine source, whether it be within or without, or you don't. Maybe the ones that don't are, I don't blame them. You gotta wonder with the stuff you see sometimes, but don't let doubt creep in, because it's not going to help you. Go with your gut feeling. Do you feel? And if you don't have a gut feeling, develop one. All right, I'm out of here today. That's it. That was a barn burner. And if you don't watch this and pass it around, this might be the last one. I always say that, but wow, can I top that? Can I top what I just said? because I don't think I can, because I didn't say it, Spirit said it. Adios, amigos.